Welcome, friends. So just settle down and let any tension just sink down into the earth. With each breath, just feel the sense of aliveness and presence. And with each exhale, let any tension drop from behind the eyes, from the jaw, from the neck and shoulders, from the gut, hands, legs. And then just continue to notice this subtle awareness, this subtle aliveness, this subtle presence that permeates all of our being and all the space around us. Notice what isn't lasting. Thoughts come and go, emotions come and go. And let any fascination with that is so temporary just drop. And feel that inner interest in that which doesn't come and go, in that which is always here, already here, when we turn and notice. There's no beginning and no ending to this presence, this awareness, this wholeness. Has no starting, no finishing, no boundaries in space, no boundaries in time. It has a realness, a timelessness. And in fact, a sense of immensity, a weight not of solidity, but a weight of significance. Not as in mattering, but as in sourcing everything. And outlasting everything. And there's no effort that adds to it, no effort that subtracts from it. This awareness, this, just rest and bask as this. The breath, the heartbeat, arise out of this primordial potentiality. Just open and relax and sense. Know oneself as this primordial potentiality. Know the primordial potentiality as one's being, as what is, as infinite, timeless realness. More real carrying this source of significance, if we could say there's any significance. Notice this inescapable vastness. Never, never could there be anything outside of this. This inescapable vastness is what we are. All that we tend to put our attention on is a mere speck. The individual identity, the physical life, the relationships, all cares and concerns are a mere speck in this unbirthed and undying vastness. A mere speck. This vastness, an empty radiance, centered everywhere. A radiance centered everywhere. Is the system relaxing? A radiance centered everywhere. Equally emanating everywhere. As though the source point could be pointed to everywhere. An infinity in every point. An infinite number of points. And an infinity in every point. Notice this vast, alive immensity. There's no diminishing, never diminished. Rather dynamic at every point. Not unlimited, not only unlimited in everywhere in its vastness, but unlimited in this dynamic radiance. Fully, spontaneously energetic, dynamic, fluid. Unlimited dynamism. No needs, no dependencies, no cautions, no contingencies. Radiating, radiating, radiating. Just notice the natural fullness of this unharmable dynamism, inescapable immensity. This is what we are. This potentiality, this unharmable, infinite, alive presence. This is what we are. Sure, there's a projection of perhaps a body, perhaps a personality, perhaps duties and obligations, or plans and hopes, or perhaps of past experiences, all just a projection compared to the reality of this infinite sourcing everywhere, infinite at every point, a radiance centered everywhere. This is not an imagination. This is not a conceptualization. This is what we are. This is what remains unchanged. All the ideas, all the supposed causes and effects, all the threads of apparent destiny, all change, all come and go, wisps in the wind that disappear. The undisappearing, this infinite real aliveness is what we are. The source of motivation, the source of movement, the source of being, the flowing dance, and bigger than all of these manifestations. Just marinate and rest in the realness. No evaluating. Evaluating makes no sense. For the tool that could evaluate is less than a speck. No evaluating. None. Right now, the evaluator could be saying, I'm doing this well, or I'm not doing this well. Or the evaluator could look into the past or look into the future. That would be better. This would be not better. No evaluating. None. No second guessing. None. Rather, this openness and this almost driving aliveness, an inevitable current, already always here. What we are, all encompassing, all permeating, and beyond. Completely unharmable. There's no destroying. Just let all tune into this that we are. Let the noticing attune into this that we are. The breathing erupts out of this that we are. The heartbeat erupts out of this that we are. The awareing erupts out of this that we are. This primordial energy. No separations, no others. In fact, there's a profound aloneness as this that is all. And as we marinate as this infinite being and alive flowing, whatever there might be that wants to grip or analyze, just let it settle as the speck of sand that it is. We have no argument with any analysis, no argument with any planning. We're just expanding beyond it. Allowing this fullness to be the foreground, to be noticed as reality, as the unchanging absolute. The unchanging absolute. No gripping, no controlling, no managing, no avoiding, no withdrawing. Wholly open and infinite with all that is, and expanding beyond all that we could call existence. Just notice this erupting energy, erupting beingness, erupting dynamism. Vast. Beyond space, beyond time. An absolute wholeness. Anything that we might try to prioritize, values, safety, love for others, any of those things are mere specks, mere attempts at imitating this reality. So here we are, at the source, at reality, resting as infinite reality, resting as whole awareness. The infinite absolute. Including all, unguarded and defended, intimate with all that is, and yet so much more. There's no condition required to notice this that we are. Everything can be exactly as it is. Every thought, every feeling, every intention, it doesn't matter. This vast reality sourcing all experience, this vast, infinite, absolute, unchanging, is what we are. The holding of all of it. The space for all of it. The sky for all the clouds. Intention is merely the noticing of the thread of this flow. The infinite absolute inevitably erupts. The infinite absolute is what we are. Before figuring anything out, before prioritizing anything, the infinite absolute is what we are. Wordless aliveness. Wordless aliveness. Not physical body aliveness, no, this absolute reality, this essential dynamic. Wordless, essential, dynamic, absolute movement, moving. There's no apprehending, there's simply resting as this. There's no conceptualizing, there's simply resting as this. Always, this is what we are. Always unharmable. Always unlimited. Always timeless. The timeless, absolute, inevitable flow. Radiance centered everywhere. All that comes and goes just melts this, the real. Radiance centered everywhere. We are the timeless absolute. All ideas are specks. This vastness, this holding, this erupting aliveness. Beyond a concept, pure reality. Pure, real, infinite, vast, absolute. We are nothing less. We are nothing but the vast, absolute radiance. Centered everywhere. No resistance. There's no pushing anything away. It's this. This. The infinite aliveness. The unlimited movement. No bounds, no conditions. No knowns and unknowns. No categories. Infinite, absolute radiance centered everywhere. What we are. Infinite, dynamic, moving, boundless, timeless, spontaneous, unconditioned, centered everywhere. Causeless, sourcing all. What we are. All else is a speck. This realness, this reality. Encompasses and permeates, expands beyond, outlasts, dynamic, aliveness, radiating, centered everywhere, is what we are. Rest as this, and let its movement be noticed as the carrier all through the day.